Hi. Jeez, almost bit it there. Welcome. My name is Cynthia. Happy Three Kings Day. I wanted to do one final gift of the Magi layout before the season is over, and today's the perfect day to do it. And so I feel a little bit off today. I just feel a little sad in my heart. So normally I have to think twice if I want to do a reading when I feel like that. Usually doing a reading makes me feel better, but I also just kind of, I don't know. It's Three Kings Day though, so it's the right day to do a final gift of the Magi layout before next year. And this is my candle. It's funny because I thought that I was going to have enough of this infused oil that I made to make like 4 of these candles, but apparently I'm challenged in the world of volume because I only had enough to do this one candle. So I'm not going to end up giving any away. This is my gift to myself this year, this candle that I made. So it's a nice magical candle. I harvested the local tree medicine here myself on the winter solstice. And then I slow infused it olive oil over the solstice, 12 days of Christmas, and then I poured the candle today on Three Kings Day. So it's a special, protective, loving candle that is a nice gift to give myself. And I'm hoping that it smells as good as it does when it's just sitting. I hope the scent diffuses well. It's got holly, sugar pine, western red cedar, myrrh. What else did I put in here? I'm drawing a blank right now. Cinnamon, citrus peel, right? Like orange zest, a little bit of oak moss, essential oil. And so I wanted to honor the trees and make a candle that had a lot of tree medicine that makes you feel nourished and safe and loved and protected by that big tree energy, including the olive tree, right? And the olive oil that I infused the herbs into and the plants. This is the first time I've ever used caranuba wax, which I think is a Brazilian tree, if I remember right. And the wax is really hard. So I had just the right amount of oil. If I had used a different kind of wax, I might have had enough to make more than one candle. But because I used this caranuba wax, and it's so hard, I needed all of my oil to blend in equal part to the wax for it to burn well. So we'll see. I've never made a candle using this. It looks a little sloppy because I'm not a candle maker, right? I just make a little witching candle like once or twice in a year. But I wanted to light it. I just lit it. It's just gotten lit like right before I started filming, so I wanted to celebrate the candle and the protective energy that it is going to bring into my home, my energy, and into this reading for us for this Magi layout. And in spite of the fact that the Magi story is a beautiful story, the energy that's coming through that wants to be read on is something about a setup. So the reading might get a little bit intense or dark, I don't know, but that's what keeps wanting to come through, is something about a setup, either that you are aware that you've been set up or that there's energy around you of a setup in some way. And it's not too far off. I mean, if we're speaking, of the Three Kings and the stories of the Bible, Jesus was set up, right, by Judas. And so something about a setup is coming through, and I'm hoping whatever comes out in this reading is going to be helpful, because I'm going to use the gift of the Magi layout that I created. This is a tarot layout that I created myself, and I'm proud of it. And I created it because I became really fascinated, borderline obsessed with the 3 Magi last season, and I did a lot of research into who were they thought to be. And I've talked about it on almost all of the other Gift of the Magi layouts, but they were thought to be Zoroastrian priests. And the story of the star has been sort of borne out in astronomy of the time and history, and they've made kind of educated guesses on how long the journey took them to get to Jesus. It's a very interesting history. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this out, and we'll see what comes out. And I'm wishing you peace and safety and joy in your heart today. Maybe I'll find a little bit of joy in my heart again. I woke up kind of joyful, and then I just went down into sadness for some reason and a little bit of worry. So you might be feeling a little bit of sadness and worry, and I'm picking up on your energy that has to do with this setup anxiety, right? What should we know about a setup here? What's going on? Is there something that is going to be helpful for us to know? Sorry about the heater. Yeah. This represents the star position, the Star of Bethlehem that the three kings are following. So if you can see the layout here, here's the Star of Bethlehem, here's the three kings. We're the fourth king, the ones that are asking the question. And then this is an overall theme of the spread for us. You have and in the star position here, which isn't normally the card I would read first, but because I asked about a setup, in the star position is a Ten of Swords. It's a betrayal card. It's a card that could very easily represent a setup. And because it's in the star position, my sense is that it's something you already know about. You may have learned that you were set up. And you are now following whatever protocols and procedures have to do with that, whether that's law involvement or whether it's your community that's going to now help you find more of a community sense of justice, right? Not everything has to go through the cops. I'm someone who believes in trying to avoid the cops altogether. But regardless, this is a confirmation for you that you have become aware that someone is trying to set you up or has tried to set you up. And it wasn't a person, it was a group, because this Ten of Swords indicates multiple betrayals, like a Julius Caesar betrayal, right? Where they all swarmed him and multiple people murdered Caesar, right? It wasn't just one person that set him up. It was his trusted senators, right? So it's something like that. For us, this card representing us, this is the Ten of Cups. So what I have a sense of is that something about your joy, your bounty in life, and your ships coming in, or the things that bring you all of the joy of your heart's desires, have been part of why these people wanted to set you up for some reason, because it's a 10-10 here. So there's something about your joy that hasn't been taken away. I mean, you might be sad, I don't know, we'll find out, but it hasn't succeeded, so that's good to see. The setup has failed. Whatever or whoever were trying to set you up, it failed. You're still in joy. You haven't succumbed to the setup, right? The kings here, this is the King of Pentacles. Or no, wait a minute, I didn't lay the kings out first. So we have two aces and a world card. So the kings, following the guidance or the message of the fact that the setup has happened, they're very conscious of, these are power players in this equation, and they are very conscious of the potential here and the potential for your power and your joy. This is striking me as envy, and the overarching theme was that these people collaborated to try to get this in some way. I don't know what it is, if it's your power, if it was an opportunity of the heart for you, but it's a new world that you're bringing in, and it's one that you're really joyful about. So this has been coming up a lot in my readings lately about creative theft. It could be something like that, where these people tried to set you up to steal your creative work that is ushering in your happiness and your new era in your life. They may have seen that this was going to be, and they wanted it, and so they tried to set you up. Like maybe they were going to try to say that you stole their idea, and then you would lose in court, and they would get away with the prize, which is your creative work, bringing in all this joy. It's here. They were in a collaboration. I don't know who they are, but they were in a collaboration to try to achieve this new era, this Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles, this fertilized seed, right? This could be seen as like a womb, for example, a womb that's impregnated and coming into a new era. So it doesn't have to be a literal birth, right? Like the birth of Jesus, although that's interesting that that's echoed here. The birth of Jesus ushered in a new era for the globe. You know, whether you believe in that story or not, it's the truth. Christianity has had a major influence. The Bible has had a major, incalculable, really, influence on culture. So the biblical story is even here a little bit with this birth into the new age and this joy. There were people trying to set this up to fail, including King Herod, right? Like King Herod had sent out like mercenaries and stuff to try to find the baby that was prophesied, right? And so there were people working against the Holy Family and Jesus from jump, even from before his conception, right? Because of the prophecies. People in power didn't want that to come to be for whatever. And so in our circumstance here, and you or in this collective, it's a similar energy. It's like an echo of people wanting what's yours, the joy and the abundance and the new era and the new age and the new world that's coming for you. It could be like new earth energy. You might be somebody that's into that kind of conceptualization of what's happening in the world. A lot of people have the sort of like, it hasn't necessarily borne out in the scientific evidence, but a lot of people have a belief system that there have been multiple civilizations before ours, like Atlantis and such, right? So it could be something like that, I don't know. Let's get some more detail here. What is the set? What's coming in for you? Let's focus on that. What's coming in for you? What is this Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, universe, new world, joy? What is it? What are the specifics of it coming in for you to help you know if this is your reading? Fortune. So now we have 3 tens. We have the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles. So it has something to do with family and fortune. It could be a family setup, right? Like family setting you up to steal an inheritance. It can also be, you know, people like we already have kind of touched on, something that is going to make you a lot of money because it's a genius idea or it's a creative work that people covet and want. 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, they saw you and your success and abundance coming in. That's sort of like universal, fated, abundant, joyful energy. They saw it as an opportunity. They saw you as an opportunity to get this 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. The 2 of Wands was there for them, they thought, as an opportunity. They tried to cross over into this setup energy and it failed. What are some text cards that can go with that? The first quarter moon financial layout that I just did might connect to this in some way. That was talking about a project, a passion project of the heart that needs your protection because it's going to bring you in a lot of abundance and it needs to be protected because of that, right? It could, these things could be related. What else about this setup? From chaos to order. So the chaos that they were trying to create to set you up, to steal from you, or to make you look bad, I mean, a setup can mean a lot of things, but it often is going to have a negative impact on how people see you, right? It failed. That's the important, and that's the message that came out right away, was that it failed because you're here in this joyful position. It's already come to be that they have failed. They didn't think they were going to. They were excited to come together and collaborate to do this, but it didn't work. Yeah, this fertility and abundance is what they wanted. Get your house in order, cleanse your space, and clear out clutter. So that's going to help you clear away whatever sadness, sorrow, and lingering toxic energy from the setup. And it can be doing things like witches cleaning, right? Like taking a Scotch broom or a feather duster that you've made with chicken feathers, right? Something witching to sweep out the negative energy in your home. Someone might have been, if you're a practitioner of esoteric and mysteries type work, this could look like spell work, and you're being told, hey, make sure that you cleanse the space in your home. Do a smudge, cleanse out and sweep out the corners and the cobwebs. Use a witching broom if you need to. Because they were trying to either put a hex on or take what's yours, right? Yeah, it might have even had something to do with, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get too dark here, but that card is heartbeat. And so they want your heart. Like, they want something to do with you. I'm not trying to be frightening, but setups like what happened with Jesus, that was a setup that ended in his death, right? In his execution. And so that happens, right? Family betrays one another. A husband who has decided he wants to move on with another woman but doesn't want to deal with a divorce decides to kill his wife instead. And I'm sorry to say it, I don't wish this on anyone, but it could be something like that. That somebody was wishing death on you, right? Because they were going to get what's yours as a result if you were no longer here. That's dark. I've never posted a reading like this. Part of me is like, God, do I want to post a reading like this for Three Kings Day? But I set the intention. I want a reading that's going to be meaningful to come out, and I want to do the Magi layout. And then as I was kind of getting ready, it was a setup is what kept coming through. And, there's a biblical story of a setup. They're as old as time. People setting someone up is an old and sad part of life. What else is important for you to know about the setup? I might ask, actually, who? Will it show anything so that you know if this is your reading or not? Will it show anything to confirm anything for you about who might have been involved? Let's see if tarot will show any court cards here to indicate, or other cards that can easily represent people. Like, who are they? Who are the people that did this? Might have had something to do with your car. And often people will set somebody up by planting, like I planted Coke in somebody's car and then tipped off the cops so that they got charges, right? When they got pulled over or something like that could be, but there's a car involved here. Protecting your car, so it might be important. It might be important for you to, actually this is kind of coming through like someone slashing your tires, or someone letting air out of your tires, or someone overfilling your tires with air so that when you're driving you have a blowout. It could be something like that. That would be something that would be hard to trace. Like, how would anyone know that someone did that, right? But the Four of Pentacles plus the Chariot card here speaks very strongly to me about your vehicle. So it's probably worthwhile to take your car in, right? Take your car in for an oil change and ask them to maybe do some scheduled maintenance, or put it up on blocks and look under the hood. I don't know, whatever. I'm not a mechanic, but it might help to do something around your car, or even just take it through a car wash and clean it out if they put negative energy attached to it, for example, if it's someone that believes in spell work. So it has something to do with your car. And this is coming out now. This reading is not going to be for everyone, okay? Because what's showing here is now a High Priest and an Eight of Pentacles. So someone paid for this to happen. Someone might have paid someone to put a tracker on your car. That's another idea, and that was going to be part of the setup, was being able to know where you were at the time. So if you think about this reading, who might have had access to your car? Okay, that's something. Travel is also indicated with the Chariot here, because the Three Kings were on a journey, and so it could be that while you were gone, the setup was supposed to take place. You were going to be accused of something while you were on a trip, or someone paid a priest to do like a hex on you, a spell work, like a practitioner, right, a warlock. What else about this? And again, this isn't always the vibe on this channel, so I just really want to emphasize this reading is not going to be for everyone. If you don't like this kind of reading, if you just want more readings about spiritual growth, I appreciate that. This is not a reading for you. This is for someone who might need this kind of confirmation, okay, that they've been betrayed by a family member or a group here, because it looks like a group of people. What else about this? I mean, it's not succeeding. That's important to know. It's already failed. So maybe you came out and found your tires slashed, right? Or you came out, or you were driving and someone flagged you down and said, hey, your tires look like they're about to blow. Or, it's something that you got away. It's not happening. But the fact that there's payment here indicated to a High Priest also to me indicates like somebody hiring a warlock to do spell work, maybe on your car, right? So that it breaks down, or so that it and it could, well, there is the heartbeat card here, but it could have been something like so that you would miss out on a meeting and lose your opportunity. They could just be vindictive people that don't want to see you succeed. It hasn't really revealed who they are. Yeah, here's the Death card again. Okay, so it's the main male, bereavement, illness, and prison. So someone may have been trying to like unalive you, honestly, for their own gain, because either they were in sorrow over you, or they want what you have. They want the money associated with you and the wealth associated with you. You're in masculine energy here, so you're not I am having a sense that this is for someone who presents as masculine. Because of this, it came out in the Lenormand here. They might have been doing things to make you ill, or doing things to end your life, like we said with this heartbeat card. Okay, I'm sorry to be delivering this news. It's upsetting to do the reading, honestly, but I've got this protective candle burning, the gift of the Magi, 12 days of Christmas, winter solstice, protective, loving energy burning and cleansing this out for us. I've also got this Palo Santo, and it's important to know that the very first insight that came out of the reading was that it did not succeed, because you have every reason to be in joy. You're in joy. They may not have wanted that for you, but they failed, okay? So that's important to know. It's important to know. Whoever was working against you failed, and that's important to know. What other cards here? I'm going to pull some Colette Baron Reed. What's important to know about these people? It's not going to reveal who they are, but my hope is that if you're catching this reading and it feels relevant to you, that you're going to know. It's something you've already been suspecting. This reading is not going to be for someone who had no clue and now is afraid that their loved ones are out to get them. This is not that. Tarot is not that, okay? Tarot is supposed to help you confirm what you already suspected. So you may have been suspecting for a while that you're surrounded by a bunch of vipers, right? And you've been trying to figure out how to get away. Well, you've succeeded. Everything is coming for you. But because it came out in this Magi layout, it might be something that feels very emotionally heartbreaking, right? Your heartbeat. This might hurt to know and to believe that it's really true. But just go ahead and cleanse your space. Know that it's over. Sometimes your tears can cleanse that out. Go ahead and cry. Let out that energy so that you can release it from you. Co-create to the sea. So these are looking to me like advice cards for you. How to respond to this information. Card 40. And it's got a cheetah here, or a leopard. Lots of big cat energy has been coming through in my own life, and it makes me feel really protected, right? You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact, you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality, blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. Don't worry, right? When you view your life as art, this 10 of Pentacles, and know you co-created, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. You're protected, right? You're protected here. Connections of the heart serve to inspire you, opening you up to new ideas you would never have come to on your own. So maybe something about this is going to end up making you even more powerful, right? That could be kind of the irony for these fools that tried to come against you. Was that now you have this amazing screenplay for a movie that's going to be a blockbuster success or something, right? Could be something like that. You are looking in a mirror, held up by this experience, and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary being looking back at you? You're going to be so happy that you kept your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art now, the very embodiment of beauty. That's really beautiful. So do not let this get you down, okay? Or if you have to, cry. If there's people that are close to you that you trusted, cry and grieve, let it out, but also know that they didn't win, they didn't succeed. This is what's coming for you, and they're going to have to face their maker, whether that's a court system or their God or whatever. What's the other one here? To the sea. Isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. So this is like, as you rise, they are falling, okay? So it's just important to keep your focus on your flow, your Tao, your way of life, where you're going, and co-create it with your maker and with the community of people that do honor and cherish and love you, right? Not the people that were trying to steal from you. I had it, and speaking of setups, so these are in a couple examples from my life of setups that were not so life and death, right? But they were setups that hurt nevertheless. And the first one took place when I was about 13, and I was with my friend. We went to a summer camp up on Vancouver Island called Camp Elphinstone, and it was really beautiful. I went with her twice, 2 summers. It was really a fun time in my life and good memories. But the second summer, there was this guy that had a lot of girls had a crush on him. I, for whatever reason, wasn't as attracted to him, maybe partly because I had a crush on somebody else, but I was like, I get it, he's cute, but I wasn't hung up on him. Well, some mean girls decided to play a joke, and boys, it was girls and boys, And they put this guy up. His name was Ezra. They put him up to pretend that he wanted to be my boyfriend, right? And so Ezra came and like asked me out. And I remember kind of being like, well, I was more interested in Russell. Like, I kind of wanted this other guy, Russell. But Ezra, you know, if we're being real, it was in middle school, and Ezra was popular. He had a lot of, like, social capital in this little camp. And I was flattered. You know, I was like, wow, Ezra likes me? Like, wasn't even thinking of him like that. But I was like, okay, I was kind of open to it. So we kissed a couple times and had our little thing going, which was not anything because it was a summer camp. Even though I was in middle school, like, there wasn't any co-ed mingling really. If you sneaked out, you were pretty likely to get caught after dark. So at some point, one of my cabin mates, Darcy, came and told me, she was like, listen, I hate to tell you this, but I feel like you should know. She and I were friends. And she was like, Ezra didn't really ask you out. It was a joke. He got put up to doing a joke on you. Like, she's all that, like the movie. I swear to God, this really happened though. You can ask my friend Katie. It was really a shock to my system because at first I was like, I couldn't figure out like who or why would someone do that. First of all, I didn't understand why that would even happen. Like, I didn't think I had any enemies there, that anyone was perceiving me as someone to make fun of. I was not even in that frame of thought. So when she first came to me and told me about it, I was like, I mean, it didn't even sink in. I was like, huh? Like, I was just like, what do you mean? And she was like, yeah, he wasn't really asking you out, Cindy. It was a joke. They were playing a joke on you. And so I was like, wow, like really, I wasn't super hurt because it wasn't actually the guy that I really had a crush on, but I was still like stung because like what group of kids had something against me so hard that they would go to those lengths to fuck with my head and make me feel ashamed of myself or that I was somehow the butt of a joke. In the meantime, Ezra had come to feel bad about it, and he tried to catch me. He learned that I had been told by Darcy what had happened, and he tried to catch me after a campfire. We had a big group campfire, and we're walking back to our cabins for the night. And he was like, Cindy, like he was trying to catch me across this whole crowd of people. And I had no interest. I was like, I'm never talking to this fucker again, right? I was like, fuck him. What the fuck? You know, like, what is this even about? Like, fuck these people. And so I didn't wait. I didn't listen. I kept going. Well, he finally caught up to me and he grabbed my arm and turned me around. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I actually really like you, or like whatever, you know. I realized how stupid it was right away, and I didn't know how, and I was like, well, too bad, basically. Like, I don't forgive you, because I had just found out, and I'm only 13, right? So it's not like I was ready to be the bigger person yet, and I just never talked to him again. I was like, fuck you. You're not gonna fuck with me. I don't deserve that. And then another time, that same age era of like mean girl bullshit, two of my really best friends in middle school over summer break, again, kids must get bored and decide I want to fuck with other kids. I don't know. These two really close friends of mine told another really popular guy. He was one of the most popular guys in school. Everybody loved him. His name was Matt. I'm not going to name his full name, but they told Matt that I had a crush on him. And that, again, was not true. I wasn't going around actively crushing on Matt. He was cute, and had I been asked out by him, I would have been excited because everybody liked him, right? He was super likable, really popular. So they thought he was way too popular for me, right? So they thought that they were gonna like get at me and somehow be the gang up against me with this popular kid. Well, when they told him, he was excited. He was excited that I had a crush on him, supposedly. They went and told him that I liked him, and they thought it was going to be this big joke, that he would be like, oh man, like, what is CynthiaVogel? Or whatever. Well, he didn't think that way. He actually liked me. So what ended up happening was these two bitchy girls made both of us feel badly because I didn't know about any of this. He called my house to call me on the phone to be like, let's go. Like, I'm into it. I want to kind of know more about this and maybe get together with her. But I didn't know where this was coming from. Like, all of a sudden he called me out of nowhere. We didn't have that kind of a friendship. Like, I would have never expected him to call me on the phone. So I was so shocked that I was like, hi, you know, I just couldn't, it took me a while to get over the fact that he was calling me. I just was really thrown off by it. Well, he picked up on the fact that I actually didn't know anything about this, and maybe I didn't even like him, and it hurt him. And I could hear him on the phone it started sinking in for him, and he was like, okay, I guess I see what's going on. And I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I didn't know I wasn't in on any of this yet. He was like, nothing, never mind. Just, Heidi and Anna, I think I don't know if he named them right away or if I went to them and said, God, the weirdest thing, Matt called me out of nowhere. And it started off great, but then he got all bummed out and hung up. And they were like, oh, and somehow I found out, either they confessed or he told me that they had told him that. And I was like, well, I didn't say that. It was him that told him that. Anna and Heidi told me that you liked me. And I was like, they did? Like, I was shocked, right? Like, I've never even said I liked him to them. So that's why I knew that they were being mean girls about it and didn't anticipate that he would actually like me back and that it would backfire. So those are like mean girl setups, and it could be something like that, like just petty bullshit setups that you don't have time for. You're in your own life path. You're co-creating with something way bigger that's bringing you in a 10 of cups. That's a beautiful, abundant, fertile, new life for yourself. So any hater energy, anybody that came in here and tried to pay someone to fuck up your car or to block your destiny or to make you sick or whatever it is, right? And you're in divine masculine energy, main male energy. So who knows who these people were? It decided not to pinpoint them, maybe because it's going to have relevance for more than one person. But the final thing to know here is that this is like a blip on your radar. These people may have put a lot of time and effort into hating on you and plotting against you and being in negative energy, and look what it is. It's like nothing but a blip on your radar. So that's the comfort and the takeaway for you, is that you're in your 10 of cups and you don't have to worry about people following the setup. Nobody's going to believe the setup, okay? If it came out, it's already been debunked, right? Or if it was a setup against your reputation, or if it was a setup against your car, maybe you went in for a car wash and the tracker that they put on your car fell out in the car wash and it failed. It could be any number of seriousness degrees of setup, right? Even something like mine, which was middle school petty mean girl setups, that hurt though. I mean, they hurt at the time. It hurt to think that kids would have anything against me like that. Like I don't know. It was just disappointing, I guess, to learn that people that you like or that you trusted or that you thought you're having this great camp experience with all these kids, and you find out there's this group of kids that like thinks you're a joke. You're the butt of their joke. That hurts to find out, and it hurts to feel. And I'm sorry that you've had to become aware of people operating against you like this. I'm sorry to hear it, but just know that it has no impact on what's coming for you, which is a very beautiful new era in your life that's full of not just a 10 of cups, but a 10 of pentacles. Okay, so hang in there. Happy Three Kings Day, and I'll see you in the next one.